Where's your town center?
Hey, where's your town center? Where is your town center? Where is your town center? Where's your town center? Hey, where's your town center? Yo, hombre, where's your town center? Can't you know what I'm talking about, town center? Yeah, town center, yeah. Where is it?
¿Dónde está el centro del pueblo? Où se trouve le centre-ville?
Where's your town center?
Where's your town center?
What is your town center? What is your town?
Excuse me, safety hazard here. Where's your town center? Where is your town center, soldier? All right, here we go. Let's go. Okay, where's your town center?
What do you consider your town center?
I'm not really sure that I think I have one.
I don't know. It's not. It's when it's kind of suburb. So
To me, that would be close to like the geographical middle of the commercial area of a town, because that's where, at least in theory, a lot of people and businesses would congregate.
Where do you see is your town center for Mount Vernon?
Definitely Old Town Main Street, I think.
Well, the downtown business district is referred to as the center.
It used to be here.
Yeah.
I don't know that there is a town center now.
Probably here.
Yeah?
Yeah, this
Why?
is old downtown Mount Vernon. This has been here pretty much the longest.
That's sort of where the town has the Christmas tree lighting, things like that.
My town center?
We're in it. This is the heart of Old Town Snohomish. I'd honestly say at the high school because there's a lot of people that go through there with sports.
You mean where I go all the time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Going by what we're doing, we do short films. We're from downtown Seattle. We try to study how communities gather. How do they help each other? What do they do? How do they think? How do they get stronger? How they build? How they congregate?
Good morning, TV land.
You start with the kids, and they separate it generally by about 3 months apart, and then they'll have, under 2 years, they'll have a junior championship. Then we'll have all the seniors, 2 years and older, and then they'll have a senior championship, and then they run the grand championship, where they have the junior champion and the senior champions, and they pick the 2 overall champions.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This used to be a sleepy town, and now everybody's coming. Like Denny is under construction, Denny's restaurant, Outback Steakhouse is coming.
Where do you consider the town center or the heart of the city is?
Well, nowadays it's Highway 2.
Well, the hangout spot where you go for your friends to meet and decide what you're going to do is actually the Albertsons parking lot.
Gonna put you know how Redmond Town Center is? It's gonna be like it.
Transmuter space.
Yeah, where are you guys again?
We are still at the co-op. We just met Roger and Tim. We are still on first.
Would you consider the town center of Linwood?
Probably the mall.
Town center will be like around 196, and the mall. This is like the town center. That's where most people come.
I think maybe the Aldrin Mall might be one. I have no idea actually.
Yeah, Linwood is just basically a big sprawl.
We're at the Winnebago, and we're headed up to the Hispanic community.
Okay, sounds good. We're gonna go to the library.
Linwood is unique like that. It doesn't have a downtown. It has shopping mall centers and strip malls. Alderwood Mall is very close to town center for us, I think.
It just happened that everything's based around traffic and stores.
Or is there one? I don't think there is one really.
Hey Mark, aren't these walkie-talkies pretty damn cool?
Well, if I have to go for food, I'll go for a chain store. But anything interesting, I'll go to a local.
I buy everything in this city. This is where I live. I don't go to the malls. Everything's right here.
And what do you think makes a good town center?
I think a place where people can get out and relax and walk and have availability to shops, towards local people being able to come down and shop in town. And we're a mixed town, tourists and residents.
Small town. You know, we just worship the tourists that come here, you know.
And it's a tourist destination. People come from all over the country actually to hit this, among other antique centers in the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast.
I want to develop a downtown that the local people also come to and also frequent. How many small towns have a hardware store on their main street? No, all the hardware stores have moved out to the outskirts, and it's a Home Depot that's 10 miles away or whatever. We have real hardware stores in Centralia. We want very much to keep that.
Oh, well, the unique thing is that there's no other butcher shop in Monroe, but like besides Fred Meyer and Safeway, but that's about it. Yeah, because I wouldn't compare them because they're like bigger companies. We're just like a little tiny thing, like a little ant against the big monsters, industry monsters.
This today.
We'll find it at Fred Meyer. You stop singing.
One easy stop and you're not.
I do the majority of my shopping at Fred Meyer. It's one of those one-stop shopping stores. and get most everything?
Walmart. Well, actually, I love Walmart.
Why is that?
You know, it's got classier clothes than the other cheap stores, shall we say. Yeah.
This side of town's all local and it's like got a friendly vibe to it. And the other side of town's just nothing but cars and big businesses, and there's no feeling to it. There's you can't be comfortable over there. You know, it's just rush, 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 buy. And instead of walking downtown, saying hello to everybody walking, down the street.
I do enjoy the shopping down here.
I really appreciate that they haven't come in and just started raising all of these buildings and have made an attempt to maintain some of the flavor of the old town, turn of the century.
Downtown type merchant cannot compete when it comes to price, when it comes to selection, when it comes to having all the parking in the world. On the other hand, Walmart and Kmart and the big box stores cannot compete with having a knowledgeable person who knows your name, greet you when you come in, and assist you in a friendly manner. The other thing that they cannot compete with is the ambiance that we offer. The idea that it's a shopping experience to come here and to walk from store to store and run into your neighbors and stop and have a cup of coffee, and it's more of a social gathering.
They come to Walmart for the prices. What about the experience? I don't pay any attention to that.
With so many South Centers, Bellevue, with so many Tacoma malls, that these little towns are not making it. And I think they're not making it because they don't have a vision. Their vision is too little.
The things that make downtown special or downtown communities different is finding what your focus is, looking in what direction you want to go in.
And I can tell you this, we've had nothing but a lot of business. Why? Because we researched the area first and found that there were 80% low income in this area. So we decided to start a shop with $10 and under to meet their needs, not to meet our needs. I've thought that in this little town, they need to grasp something bigger than this, and what they're doing now, and maybe start a cheap street. Maybe everything on the whole street is under $10. And the girls now like something a little more, so this is what we call Hoochie Mama, something with a little bit of pizzazz, and they love it. So the town needs to cater to the people rather than to their own needs. And I think to do that, you have to be willing to change and maybe take a risk.
There used to be a record store right there. He was doing pretty well, but when Fred Meyer came in with their CD department and stuff, he pretty much went out of business within 2 years.
You spend $1 at Walmart, only about 6 cents of that dollar comes back into the local community. When you spend $1 at a locally owned and operated store, about 60 cents comes back into the community and is recirculated, by buying locally, by hiring locally, paying family wage rather than minimum wage jobs.
Why don't you like the big businesses?
Well, just because it takes away from our community. And they're not in for the people. They're not here to help the community. They're here to make money and pretty much just taking away from all local businesses.
And that is the best thing the local community can do to create wealth in the local community, is to buy locally, to spend your money locally, support, because that's where the money ends up in the schools, and providing services for your local community.
I live in Burien, which is just south of Seattle. It's kind of a ghetto area. I've had my car broken into a couple times.
I live in the back of an appliance store. Well, I guess the large house. Wasn't it, babe?
I live above one of the restaurants downtown here.
I still live with my parents, unfortunately.
I have a family down here now. I have a son who's 10 and my wife. And in a lot of ways, it's been really great because the shopping is close. The grocery stores are close.
A love of neighbors and friends.
I don't have to drive. I have a couple of beers and I don't have to worry about it. I can just take a nice walk over the, the path here. And
living closer to work is so much easier. Spend less time commuting.
What's housing available for you in Bellevue? That you could live near where you work? Would that be?
Oh yeah.
Do that?
Yeah, but I can't afford it. I can't afford to live in Bellevue. It's too expensive.
We had 6 kids at the time, so we were looking for a large place, and now all the kids are going, we don't need the large place, but we have it, so.
Could you get them to live in multifamily, or can you get them to live in really dense housing somewhere? Well, again, the market, that's sort of the planner's dream.
But I think it's neat I wouldn't mind living in a city, being able to walk and do things. But we've always been in the suburbs, so we'll just probably stay in the suburbs.
It's people that are the center of it. And that means people who live in the downtown area. Live and work in the downtown area is even better.
Downtown housing, for every person that lives in your downtown, they spend an average of $12,000 in your downtown on goods and services. So the more people who live in your downtown, the more vital your downtown is going to become.
Do you feel like at this time there's enough choices in terms of housing and the way that you live?
It's starting to happen, but I think it's limited still. I think there are a lot of people. My mother's 84. She needs a place to live where it's close in town so that she can take a cab or a bus and not have the driving anymore and still be able to get to her doctor's appointments. But
then you're getting into affordability.
Rent is very costly, and so I think there have to be some different choices.
It's like $1,000 a month for like a studio apartment. Period. It's like $500. Yeah, sure, you've got drug lords all around you, and maybe it's not as safe as area as living in downtown Bellevue would be, but it's a lot more affordable.
And it's insane what they charge for rent compared to Linwood and Edmonds.
You should have options for everybody, whether affordable housing as well as the very expensive housing.
I think at the most basic level there should be housing for the homeless.
Most of us are single mothers or mothers and fathers trying to, take care of our kids, not sell drugs and do drugs, and they're just making it really hard because they're trying to get the apartment closed down. It's a place for my kids to live. I have a roof for my kids, and that's all I'm concerned about. We're like a big old happy family.
Free society, market-driven, market-driven, market-driven.
I mean, heck, we have shelters for homeless animals. Why not people, right?
And downtown is a neighborhood, because this is where people live too. They just don't work here. There's housing right over there.
You think about the choices you'll need to make in order to purchase a house. Like, we interviewed plenty of people who say schools are important, Downtowns, typically downtowns don't have very good schools. And so what are we going to do about that?
The market says they want, for about $140,000, they want to have a 3-bedroom house and a yard for their kids. They are choosing a little more green space, typically. Are there nice options that could attract, other people? Probably.
They just build the biggest house they can on the smallest lot.
Big ass garage in the front yard. There's no way for me to look for anything that doesn't have that.
You got to build what's sellable.
But people also only build what's sellable from before. So you're in this cycle of you only build what you can prove that will sell.
Yeah, above each one of these establishments, someone lives. And these are not expensive dwellings.
The city gave a tax abatement. They were giving an incentive for developers to build in an area that's not proven.
City permit department, they were not real thrilled with the idea of anybody living downtown, evidently. We live downtown, and I'll show you, this is where we live. It's right behind our shop. So after several years of that battle, the judge asked the building department to quit harassing us, and we went on with it. But after that, everyone else has had a much easier time of it, and the city has opened its eyes.
Middle income housing is what thereafter brings in all of the little grocery stores and the little this and the that and the drug stores and everything else that follows after that.
We'd rather get a small itty-bitty home and be here.
I mean, I hope that, like, with my job I can make enough money to live somewhere nice and safe. And, I know I'll have to pay more for that, but I mean, that's just how it is, you know.
Everything is in walking distance. The Grand Cinema that does all the independent films right up the street. I love living here. I love living downtown.
The attitude of the people leaves a little something to be desired, you know, but I love the area. It's beautiful here. The attitude of the people leaves a little something to be desired.
Hi, you got a couple minutes for us? Got a couple minutes for us?
But I love the area. It's beautiful here.
When he was saying Vidal's, just because there's a certain, it's a place to hang out and meet everybody and shake hands.
So Marina Park really is kind of the focus of downtown.
But this I would call the town center. If we were going into town, I would refer to this because the waterfront.
It's like, I consider it like the hub of Kirkland. I've met everybody from that place.
If you're under 21, probably the parking lot down there by the park.
Our town center?
Yeah.
In Redmond. I'm actually not from Redmond. It's on 76th Street, I think.
Probably this area and maybe the mall over there.
What's important about the town center?
I would think the historic values, not the shopping mall.
Exactly. What leads you to believe that? Is there anything specific thing that you like?
They called it Redmond Town Center.
No, because what is the downtown of it? Well, I think this is a good focal point.
The heart of the Renton, Kent area?
Where are you there?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah, I like it. It's got a sense of community right here, especially around the river, you know. People are friendly and say hi.
I'd have to say downtown Renton.
The old downtown?
The old downtown, yeah.
For what reason?
Well, just based off the few years that I've been here, that seems to be like the area where most all age groups, I think as a whole, seem to gather.
You know, I have no idea where the town center of Renton is.
word that is on everybody's mind all the time is traffic. Traffic, which is being driven by the growth and the densification that's occurring, which is by design. We're doing that on purpose, but it does create traffic congestion.
A lot of people, in fact most people in these discussions are really focusing on congestion. And I think personally that focusing on congestion is the wrong priority and the wrong place to pay attention.
People are trying to come up with more solutions that are better than the other solutions, that are different from the other solutions, but they're really not questioning the place that they're questioning from. We've got to start asking different questions.
If we put 40 miles of monorail, which is being discussed in this meeting, or 21 miles of the Link Light Rail, which is part of Sound Transit, if we could somehow magically put those in by Monday morning, you wouldn't see any discernible degradation or mitigation of congestion. That is a fact.
But what we should be focusing on is not that, but what is the quality of the place where we start that trip and where we finish that trip? What is the quality of our neighborhood? What is the quality of our local business district? What is the quality of our downtown? And we should be focusing on transportation solutions that are most likely to contribute to that quality.
When housing prices go up, in order to afford them, people have to move further out. The moment they move further out, they have less transportation alternatives, and so you end up clogging highways. That's the rationale behind transit-oriented development. If you can create a good transit system, hopefully you can get the density to occur around that.
The commuter rail system is very transit-oriented designed because it's set in a place where it's within like probably 500 feet of all of the major things that you would want to get to when you get on or off of the train or bus.
So on the train you can just relax. You don't have to worry about, oh, there's a car here, there's a crash up here, it's raining, all the other conditions, and also the consistency with the times. It's great for me.
I'll tell you about transportation. I'm a highway engineer myself.
Well, it's a role that is growing, and it plays a big role, frankly.
Highways are public transportation as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think it's the role of mass transit or community transit to get everybody out of their cars.
What is the role of public transportation in your community?
What should it be or what is it?
What is it and what should it be?
Public transportation is very poor in Snohomish County.
People don't want to get on a bus because it's raining and you get out of the bus and you got to walk half a mile to where you're going.
The only goal right now of our design committee is making downtown more walkable and safer for pedestrians.
Again, it's 8 minutes from my house in a car to get to every big box retail in the universe. And it's really nice and it's really convenient. And I go in an air-conditioned room that has my radio station and, you know, my beverage and my cup holder. And it's a very pleasant experience for me. So versus, you know, walking to downtown or something.
It's a small enough town where it's easy enough. By European standards, it's extremely easy because everybody in Europe walks. In America, nobody walks anywhere, including me, unfortunately. Public transportation, I'd say, is probably good, maybe not the best in the nation, but it's about to get better because our light rail link, which will be down in Commerce across the street, right at the bottom of our back door here, will link us right to the Sounder and to Seattle.
Again, when you hear that 1% of our employees, 60,000 people, currently are using some kind of mass transit and 39–40% would like to, that's pretty significant.
We don't need another Narrows Bridge. We don't need another 520 bridge. We don't need to add new lanes to I-405.
I've seen them talk for the last 40 years about put more buses, put more money to railroad. People just don't want to go for it.
You know, I think that there should be less cars. I think buses are really the key in public transport. Hang gliding over the lake.
How do you get down here? Do you take the bus? Do you
See, girls, you know, a lot of girls with cars give me rides all over the place, anywhere I need to go. I get chauffeured around.
The step beyond, you know, carpool, single occupancy cars, carpools, van pools, buses, as well as all of the non-motorized, bicycle paths and walking paths. The next step beyond that really is some sort of rail system, light rail, commuter rail, something in that regard.
Do you think the light rail will ultimately benefit this region?
Do you think they're going to build it?
They just got to build more highways. We got having more cars, so we got to have more highways. You can't get me different.
I really do think if people were offered solutions that worked and they were better, they'd take them.
When I used to be on the city council about 5 or 6 years ago, I used to say to my constituents, if you like to drive, you should do it this afternoon, because it will never, ever, ever be more wonderful than it is in the next 10 minutes.
Here we go.
Let's do church!
So what kind of service is this?
Well, we're just a non-denominational church, and it developed out of the motorcycle world. I ride with the Christian Crusader Motorcycle Ministry, and been clean and sober for 15 years. God gave me a vision with another brother to start a church in the area where I was raised, and only church in the county that charges an admission to come to church. But you got to get a hug when you come through the door. That's the idea, spread the word of God. Work the streets as much as we can. Even though we do church, we're different. We dress different, we look different. We come as we are. You don't have to wear a suit and tie to come to church. You come just the way you are. If you work in your garden all day long on Sunday and all of a sudden you look at the clock and it says it's 5 o'clock, church starts at 5:30, you grab your gear and head out. I don't care if you take a shower before you get here. That's not important. God will take you anyway, just the way you are. He doesn't care. When we do music, we share testimonies along with it so people hear the Word of God.
Can I get a hug?
Sure.
Right.
God bless you, brother.
I sort of just started hanging out here because there's not much else to do in Snohomish, really.
Zach, are you Ace of Spades?
What is war? It's a tabletop strategy game, and there's a variety of armies and playing styles you can use, and you go against your friends or whoever. They're planning on building a skate park. I'd like to see that. Where do kids go to hang out?
The mall is a really popular place for people to go.
I did it when I was younger, like with little toy cars, and then my friend Phil got me back into it about 2 years ago, and this whole addiction started then.
So do you come out every weekend?
Yeah, we do a race every 2 weeks here on Sunday, and then this is just something that guys at Hobbytown have set up here, just kind of for the locals to do.
Does Redmond have a curfew?
The lights go out at 9. You can still skate here sometimes. If like you skate here till like 10 or something, and then the cops might come and tell you to just like.
What
Like-
kinds of things do you wish you could do here? I mean, if you
I
could
wish-
like have your own like perfect town.
If I was planning the city, I would have left more room for recreational areas. Like for instance, you have to get on I-90 or anything like that if you want to do any kind of like off-roading, camping, like riding bicycles, like anything like that. You can't really do in town here.
What are some amenities that you wish Snohomish could offer you? Some place to hang out.
Richard Tracy, that's Dick Tracy, and I just took the T out of Tracy and knocked the D out of Richard. Let's go. This is what I want you to act like today. Isn't that nice? It's nice because it's proportioned. It has feeling and it has, I don't care what it has, it has it. The secret is to do this stuff, get it out here, and let nature kind of take over. Where's my class? You coming? All right. Okay, class, this is where I want you. You do not talk, you write notes. That's the important thing. You got to keep working. The secret here is only pick up 5 of anything. Put them on and then go get another. So that eliminates hoarding. What kind of glue do you need? And that's the way it goes back and forth, with the mic. Woo! Woo! What is that? Gee, that's a lot like talking. Mean kids do good art. These nice, polite people are just about worthless. Things don't have to have a purpose. This doesn't have to have a purpose. It doesn't keep out the light, doesn't keep out the wind, doesn't keep out the rain, doesn't keep out anything, but it holds your spirit.
My town center.
Yeah, where do you like to go in town? Hang out. Where do you make people
This is the place right here.
This is your town center? How
Yeah.
come?
I have good friends here.
Thanks, Randy.
I would say that our town center is still really our downtown.
We also have the traditional downtown center that was here when Kent was a farming town.
And the reason that I believe that is that our city has invested money in parks in our downtown. They've invested to keep our city services in our downtown.
The street right over here going down, and the next street over here going down is the town center.
Well, why would you say that?
Well, most of our little businesses are located on Meeker.
Can we expand the definition? Does it have to mean funky Chinese places and people going to movies, or can a center be a job center?
Right here in the barn. That's my town center of Kent. Right across the railroad track. That's where I get my hair done, over at the Magic Style, and come on, that's my town center.
Well, for Tacoma, when the market is here, the town center is right here.
Well, now it's pretty much on the hill or the Tacoma Mall.
As a normal day going through, I believe, Pacific Avenue and down through the University District.
On the corner of 9th and Broadway, because we're in the Theater District and Antique Row, which are the two liveliest parts of downtown Tacoma, night or day.
Not down here, though. Down here, it's kind of hard to find something to really enjoy. There's a park down the hill, but that's about it.
Town center? Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's here in Tower Avenue, about these 5 blocks of Tower Avenue, the old part of town.
Think of the city center as being an intersection of Tower and Main Street, because that's traditionally the center of the community.
You know, and other people think it's out around the freeway corridor, but I like to think it's right here.
Where do you feel your town center is?
Well, we hope it's going to be downtown.